Hey guys, I completely forgot to record the Google Meet today, and I'm really frustrated because it's actually a really good Google Meet, and everyone that came had lots of questions. Um, so I'm just going to go through the PowerPoint that I did with the Google Meet kids earlier. If you have any questions at all, please email me. That way I can go over everything when I see you guys tomorrow. So last time I saw you on Friday, I think, we talked about traits, right? We talked about physical traits that we get from our parents. So things like eye color, skin color, height, all of these different things, the size of your nose, all of these things we are getting from our parents. But it's not just like one, two, three, snap your fingers, I have my parents' traits. There's a lot more to it than that. And we get our traits from these things called genes, right, in our DNA. And so it's a little overwhelming. Don't stress out about it, but I'm going to show you exactly where you can find these genes, okay? So first thing is your cells. Okay, all of your cells have this genetic material that creates these traits, right? I know you guys didn't really talk about cells last year. I know you guys kind of ran out of time. So hopefully, I will be able to talk to you about cells next week. But your body has all kinds of cells. And so this is it right here. So this thing that kind of looks like an egg, that is the nucleus. So we're basically zooming in. So we're zooming into this nucleus right here. And that's what it looks like zoomed in. It's got these weird little X-shaped things. And those little X-shaped things are called chromosomes, right? If you zoom into the chromosome, you'll see it's not just a big X, but it's actually strands of DNA. And they're super tightly wrapped inside the chromosome. But when you start to pull it apart, you'll see it's DNA. And it makes that weird, like a round staircase shape, right? Like a winding staircase. Well, if you zoom into the DNA and you look at one section, that is called your gene. Your genes are the ones that are saying, hey, let's make hair color. Another gene might say, hey, let's make your skin color, right? Now, it's not always so simple. Thousands and thousands of genes determine your skin color. Lots of different genes, all right? And then the last thing that we're going to look at is called an allele. It's a weird word, an allele. And an allele is basically different versions of a gene, right? So maybe your parent might have a blue-eyed allele, and then your other parent might have a brown-eyed allele, okay? Those, they're both for eye color, but one is just going to be a different color than the other, okay? So we go from our cell to our nucleus to chromosomes to DNA to gene to allele. And this is just to kind of show you and help you mentally envision what chromosomes are, what DNA is, where the genes are, and it's a lot. So don't get overwhelmed because we're going to talk about this a lot and we're going to come back to this specific page quite often. So the biggest thing I want you to know, when you get older, if you do any of the science pathways at North Hardin, or if you decide to go into a science major in college, you're probably going to have to take genetics, and there is a lot of work that goes into genetics. It is not as simple as this. But for now, all you need to know is that your DNA goes through this really long process and it creates proteins, right? There are proteins all throughout your body and they do a whole bunch of different stuff, but there are certain proteins that get instructions from DNA, and those proteins go and create your traits. So we go from DNA to protein to trait. So basically, it's super simple. Your chromosomes are a blueprint for an organism. So your chromosomes, right? What is a blueprint? Well, it's right there. A blueprint is instructions, right? Usually instructions on how to build a house, how to build a skyscraper or a building. You got to have instructions before you start building something. It's the same with our chromosomes. That's a blueprint, right? Your chromosomes are literally a blueprint for yourself. Dogs have chromosomes, right? still a blueprint. Those chromosomes told them exactly what kind of dog it was going to be, what kind of color, what kind of fur, what kind of eye color. So at the end of the day, chromosomes are just a recipe, instructions, or a blueprint. Okay? So every single species has a different number of chromosomes. Us humans, we have 23. Okay, we have 23 pairs. So we have 46 in total, right? Why do we have 23 pairs? Well, we get one chromosome from our mom and we get one chromosome from our dad. So if we're looking right here at chromosome 12, right, we could have gotten this one from our mom and we could have gotten this one from our dad. Now, our last pair, pair 23, those are going to be your sex chromosomes. And that determines if you are a boy or a girl. And so if you have two X chromosomes, that determines that you are a female. And if you have an X chromosome and a Y chromosome, it determines that you are a male, right? So let me explain really quick how this works. Females always have two X chromosomes. So when they're passing down one of their sex chromosomes, they only have one option, X, right? So the X chromosome gets passed down, but now your father, he's the one who determined if you were going to be a boy or a girl. He has two options. He can either pass down that X chromosome, which he got from his own mother, or he can pass down the male chromosome or the Y chromosome. So it's really just a 50-50 shot. It's up to your dad, right? Now, it's not like he gets to choose, but his sperm cells are the one that either carries the X or the Y. Okay, so 23 pairs, 46 chromosomes in total. I know it's a lot. Don't get overwhelmed. Again, if you have any questions, email me. So again, where do we get our chromosomes? Well, we got 23 from your father's sperm, and we've got 23 from your mother's egg, right? Those combined, they paired up, created 46 total chromosomes, and that created you. So where can we find our DNA? Where are our chromosomes at in our body? Well, they are literally in almost every cell. So you haven't really talked about cells yet. And we will briefly discuss it. I'm sorry that you had to miss out on it, but NTI last year kind of sucked for you guys. But there's actually over 200 types of cells in your body. So here's just a few, right? These right here, these are called adipocytes. They're fat cells, right? They're in your fat. Even if you're really, really skinny, right, you still have some fat cells. Well, guess what? Your DNA is in there. Your chromosomes are in there. These over here, these are called neurons. And they are in your brain, right? They look a little weird, kind of like spiders. They also carry your chromosomes. These over here, these are your white blood cells, right? These are your best buddies when you're sick because they go and fight diseases. They carry your chromosomes. And then these, of course, are probably like the ones that you guys think of the most. These are your red blood cells. Now, when they are young red blood cells, they carry your chromosomes. Once they're older and mature, they actually kill off their nucleus and chromosomes. That way they can carry more blood. So all of these are carrying your chromosomes. All of these cells have all 46. However, when we get down to your sex cells, females are going to have eggs, males are going to have sperm. How many chromosomes will your sex cells have? Again, you're only going to have half in either your eggs or your sperm. And again, that's because eventually, when the time is right and when you're an adult, right, you're going to probably procreate and make children. Well, you're going to have half of your DNA or half of your chromosomes, and then whoever you decide to have children with, they're going to have half of their DNA, half of their chromosomes, and then when you guys combine, right, an egg and a sperm, they come together, they make a baby. That's when your baby is going to have all 46 chromosomes, right? Half from you, half from whoever you're with. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. If you didn't go to the Google Meet today, that's okay. I know some of you guys are busy and you can't do it exactly at 12:30. However, if you can and you're just not coming, I really encourage you, please, please, please come to the Google Meets. Everybody had some really good questions today. We actually had a really good time. People are asking questions about different mutations and eye colors. And a lot of people had questions on reproduction. And so please, 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 please try to come. Tomorrow we will be meeting at 12:30 again, and then you get a 3-day break. So email me if you have questions, and I will see you guys tomorrow.